Hello there. Today we're going to talk about civic courage. Civic courage is generally defined as civilians standing up for something that is deemed unjust or doing what they feel is right, knowing that their actions might lead to unfavorable consequences. Do you have civic courage? Not sure? Well, let's take a look at some real-life examples. Some people such as Martin Luther King Jr., Rosa Parks, and even supporters of Occupy Wall Street all show civic courage by standing up for what they believe is right, even though they know there will be undesirable consequences to face. Got it now? Good! Now let's see how you compare to the people in our survey. For our survey, we chose 4 questions as well as a civicometer to test how much civic courage people have. Our test group is made up of 50 freshman students at Kennesaw State University, 25 guys and 25 girls. The students were chosen at random to take the survey, and we tallied all of our results to find out how much civic courage they had. Now let's take a look at the questions and results. Question 1. If you see your friend steal a car, would you report it to the police, even though you would lose that friend? 60% of guys said no, 40% said yes. 52% of girls said no, 48% yes. And overall, 56% no and 44% yes. Question 2. Would you help somebody who is broken down on the side of the road, even if there is a risk of getting hit by a car? 30% of guys said no and 46% yes. 60% of girls said no and 40% yes. And overall, 52% yes and 48% no. Question 3. If you are with a group of friends and they start doing things you don't believe in, do you leave the group of friends and stand up for what you believe in? 60% of guys said yes, 40% said no. 68% of girls said yes, 32% said no, and overall, 64% yes and 36% no. Question 4. If you are in a fraternity or sorority and they are going to make you do something you feel isn't right, would you stand up for yourself even if doing so would get you kicked out of the fraternity or sorority? 52% of guys said yes, 48% said no. 60% of girls said yes, 40% said no, and overall, 56% said yes and 44% no. Now let's take a look at our civicometer. For our civicometer, we asked everyone who took the survey to grade themselves on how civically courageous they were based on a scale of 1 to 10. We asked them to grade themselves after reflecting on how they answered the previous questions. Now let's take a look at how they did. The guys averaged a 6.8 on the civicometer, girls a 7.08, and overall a 6.94. And that concludes our survey. If you'd like more information about our survey or about civic courage, please check our website. And remember, always stand up for what you believe in.